Okay. Oh my goodness. Enough. Hi everyone, good morning. We are heading out. Haircut for me, not Lefty, and then over to the PARK. So here in a little while you'll be able to see what I look like cleaned up a little bit, because it's been some weeks since I've had a haircut. Probably 6 weeks, I think. So while we're driving over there, I wanted to talk to any of you that are relatively new to the channel, and you may not know all of, like, why am I driving around in a regular car and in a house when my channel is about traveling the country. Well, if you want to learn my whole story, there's a playlist at the end of every video. It's titled Watch All My Videos. If you click that, that'll take you back to the beginning, back when I actually was still in my house. I had just bought my ambulance off of Craigslist, and you can kind of follow the whole story and learn about, why Lefty and I are where we are right now. So what we do every spring, early summer, is we come back here to New York, where I'm from, to visit with the folks and my daughter. And so that's why we're here right now, and do, typically a bunch of work on the truck. Last year we did a whole lot of work, suspension work and things like that on the truck. And I have a pretty good list. I would show it to you, but maybe I'll insert it right here in the video. I have a pretty good list of things to work on this year, and hopefully I can get them all done. But one of the other things that I wanted to mention is I always end up with a lot of leftover unused video. So I'm gonna start showing what I call the fleeting moments segment. And these are clips that were never used, like from the last winter season traveling around. They could be older, they could be from the previous year. I think I cleaned up all the 3-year-old clips, and I'm down to just 2-year-old and newer clips. So this is going to be a fleeting moments video. It's just unused leftover footage that's too good to just throw out, and I hope you all enjoy it. Okay, let's all figure out what the heck this is. I've seen several of these. It's obviously an ant colony down in that hole. But what is this stuff? I've seen a handful of just like this. What is the stuff out there? The fluffy. I don't get it. And I can see the ants kind of moving around in the hole there. And I've seen some where they're really active, but I just don't know what this fluffy stuff is. What is this, their entranceway right there? It's like the grand entrance. So who has an idea of what this is? I'm gonna call on all of you. I just don't know. That was a new one. I just saw, I wish I had my camera out, a Class A towing a full-size pickup truck, and on top of the pickup truck was a boat. So they had built some kind of rack, a boat on a trailer on top of the pickup truck being towed behind a Class A. I'm surprised they didn't have a trailer connected to the pickup truck with a side-by-side on it. Maybe next year. Hi everyone, good morning. We are out taking a quick stroll this morning. I'm doing some recon work here to see what it looks like out here in the wash. Because last year, when we got to this area, there was more green vegetation than I'd seen before, and I wanted to see what it looks like this year. We've got quite a bit of greenery back here. And these kind of things, this is what you don't see a lot of. Big leafed greenery. You know, those kind of plants, they have a hard time out here. You know, most of the stuff that grows out here is this type with the really tiny greenage. And I'm guessing because it takes too much moisture to maintain. I mean, I can imagine the amount of moisture it takes to maintain a bush looking like that with all those leaves. And there's a bunch of green bushes out here. So we didn't see those last year. And something else I noticed here this year. Oh, this is great. Look at the vines stretching out. I don't know if you can see them. They're coming from, they're headquartered like up in there. And they're stretching, they're reaching, right? They're looking for moisture. They're all over. Oh my gosh, they're all over. And they've gone this way. They're looking for water. That is so cool. Talk about survival. You know, this wash here changes every year when we get here. It's a little bit different from all the turbulence and the water flow that comes through here. And this is a lot of green. I really like when you come here at this time of year because the monsoons have pretty much finished. So everything has woken up out here. Everything has turned green. And, you know, there's birds and wildlife. It actually feels nice, you know. You don't so much feel like you're in the desert because there's actual green. You know, like I can kind of feel moisture. I don't want to say like it's wet, but I can smell the greenery, which is nice. They're looking nice and green. Hi everyone, good morning. We're just out for our morning walk, and we usually finish the walk by going up and down the road a ways. Helps keep Lefty's toenails in check, and it adds some, you know, a lot of steps to our walk. We do a bunch in the dirt and then hop up on the road. As we were coming back, kind of right up where we reach up to the pavement up there, there was a gentleman. He has, it's like a Toyota or maybe a Pathfinder or something like that with a trailer on the back, and he was starting it, and I could hear right away like his battery was low, and it just went kind of rah, rah. And he tried again, and it went rah. You know, we all know what that means. So maybe he left his lights on or something overnight. It's early, it's like 8:30. So I asked him if he had a booster, and he said no. And I said, I've got one, I could run and grab it. And he said, yes, thank you. So we're just hiking down here to grab the Gulu. And we're gonna walk back up there and see if we can't get him fired up. And I don't mean like excited, I mean like get his car started. Hi Bear, good morning. Every time you hear my door open, you come running. Left. Stay right here. Oh, speaking of Gulu, there's the GTX 300 giveaway item. And then, oh, back here behind my passenger seat, I keep my my GTX 3000 booster pack. There we go. All right, let's go help this gentleman. Come on. Let's go get your dinner, okay? Well, that was successful. Hooked it's like a Toyota 4Runner. 2022. Very strange. He said he just drove into town and just came back, no problems. Then for about a half an hour, he was loading stuff up. He said he had his hatch open. But, I mean, a brand new vehicle, even if you'd like left your headlights on, a lot of them shut them off after a certain amount of time. But half an hour of interior dome lights and stuff. So we hooked the Gulu up and started up immediately, cranked it nice and fast. And his buddy, who's camped next to him, was there also. And the guy said to me, "Can I go get my phone and take a picture of that thing?" He came back, he said, "I'm going to go order one of these right away." And then the guy whose car it was that we jumped, he said, "I'm going to order one right away." So I think Gulu just got 2 new customers there, because these things really do work. And, you know, for the size of something that you can fit in your glove box, you can't beat it. I really, you know, I've said it before, if you're out, you know, everybody should have one of these things. So those guys were absolutely impressed with the Gulu, and I'm glad we got the guy on his way. He's headed up to Phoenix right now, and you know, I had him get out his multimeter, and once we started it, he put it on his battery, and it was reading 13.7, so his alternator's working. So very straight, you know, brand new vehicle, 2022, brand new. So no reason he should be having any trouble. So Gulu to the rescue again. Okay, we are gonna try to get this back together. So I left this clamped for 2 days. I just used a drill bit to clean out the holes that these pins go into. You see those pins? So the holes got some glue and such in it, so I got a drill bit, and by hand I just cleaned them out. So I've got the pins nice and seated, and so the other challenge is getting it back in here. But I just figured out, I pulled this drawer out, and this crossbar here is just held in by 2 of these like quick spin fasteners that this kind of furniture uses. So I'm just going to loosen these 2, which should let me move this bar here, and then I think we can just pop this thing right back in here. Yeah, these kind of strange spinner kind of things. Maybe it's not that easy. Well, let me see if I can sneak it in there. Wish me luck. We're going for it. I don't want to put any excessive pressure on these to save my glue job. Oh gosh, that's so close. Come on. Ah, and there we go. All right, now let's get these tightened back up. Oh gosh, I hope this works. Ah. Well, you can see some cracking and such, but as long as I just pay attention and don't let Lefty see. See, this is how the door was, and you can imagine him, he wanted to go that way, so he just pushed that thing on out of his way. I wish I had it. It'd be great to watch in slow motion. Lefty the furniture breaker. So everything's working. Just got a little remnant cracking, you can see where I glued it back together. And then down there, it's got a little bit down there, but that's all glued back on. I'm going to call that done. Let's stick the drawer back in. Excuse my drawers here. My drawer of drawers, right? There we go. Okay, look at that. And this has worked great. It's really nice to be able just to come over here and open this up and grab what clothes I want. I really like that I added this. You know, considerably better than what I used to have with the bins of clothes. Okay, as much as you tried to break that thing, I got it fixed. We're just kind of hiding inside today. It's pretty windy. So everything's blowing pretty good out there. Just enough to make it irritating to be outside. Well, I don't know if you can see him. Jeff just took off. So he didn't like, you know, the music last night was unacceptably loud and very late. This group over there that has gotten larger and larger as the days have gone by. They had the music. The last time I looked at the clock, it was 12:07 a.m. and it was so loud that it was taking over my TV sound. Like I couldn't cover it up. You know, it woke me up. I was sound asleep, and they must have jacked it up at 10 or something. And so I laid there and listened to, you know, there's a lot of different kinds of music, right? And this was some kind of techno dance. So it was doom 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 doom, just song after song after song. And yes, it bothered me, and yes, it kept me awake, and it must have shut off a little bit after that last time I looked at the clock, and I'm sure I fell asleep immediately because I was just laying there kind of waiting for it to stop. And you know, everybody comes out here to do their thing, and I get it. That's super cool. We all get to do that. Like if my thing starts to cause other people to not be able to do their thing, then I would think I'm doing something wrong. And so this morning, there's people leaving this area. There's somebody packed up and left like right in the middle of it last night. You know, like 11:30, I heard a rig start up and get out of here. So just, and Jeff, you know, Jeff's a bit closer than we are to where the music was coming from. You know, at least another 50 yards closer. And you know, he does have some insulation in that trailer, but you know, I had the truck all closed up, no windows cracked, nothing, and it was just that I couldn't hear any like treble or anything. It was just that doom doom doom, that drony, and not, you know, some of you'll know it. It wasn't good rich bass. It was a drony doom 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 doom. You know, whatever speaker system they have. And that tone just carries and is pretty grinding, you know, at midnight when you're trying to sleep. And so I hope we're just going to chalk it up to it was a party, it was a one-night thing. And yes, it sucked last night, but then, you know, after falling asleep and didn't wake up until 6:15 this morning, which is like for me sleeping through the whole day. But so it's behind me now, you know, and yes, it sucked, but if it keeps happening, continuing, then I'm gonna just have to move somewhere else, which is unfortunate. You know, we've been in this same area here year after year. I'm comfortable here and I know it really well, but if it happens repeatedly, then it'll start to wear on my sanity. So we'll just have to see what shakes out.
What? Hello. Hello. Am I bothering you? Huh? You're so funny.
Hi everyone, I told you I was going to have some more giveaways of gear, and we're going to do another one right now. I have two personal device chargers made by ShareGeek. This model is their Storm 2. I'm going to put a link in the video description so you can go take a look at the specs of this thing. This is for a real tech head. This is not just a plain old off-the-shelf device charger. This has 8 lithium cells in it. It's capable of a 100-watt quick charge output. It has its own operating system that they've designed into it. So when you click into this button here, you've got all kinds of features and settings that you can play around with. Temperature monitoring, really amazing stuff. So let me show you what this thing looks like. So they've got it in a transparent case so you can see what's going on inside. Like I said, it's got 8 lithium cells in there. It's got some bulk to it. This is not a cheap product. This is very high end. So you can try to see some of the settings. This is just the basic welcome screen. If I keep pushing into that button and we go into the menus, you'll be amazed at all the different settings and features this has. So down on this end, you've got your input outputs. It comes with a USB-C to C cable. This is not a cheap item. This is really high end. So there, now I'm down into the operating system menu. So this has a lot of features. This is not just a cheap little battery charger. This is something for those of us that really enjoy technology. It's very boutique. So again, this is called the Storm 2, and it's from a company called ShareGeek. I'm going to put a link to their website. They actually have a Father's Day sale going on. I just saw when I clicked over there. So go over, take a look at it. We're going to give 2 of these away on the 1st of July. We're going to do the drawing. So that's 2 weeks from today, the 1st of July. July 2nd, I'll announce the winners in a video. Remember, I never contact people in the comments. If someone sends you a reply to your comment that says you've won and you got to pay for shipping, that's not me. Don't answer it. Down in the comments of this video, put Storm 2, S-T-O-R-M, the number 2. That'll get you entered. So July 1st, I'll do the drawing for 2 names because I've got 2 of them. I hope all you people out there that are really tech heads like me get one of these because they're pretty awesome. I've been messing around with these things. The features that they have in there, it's got an entire operating system built into it. It's pretty crazy. So put Storm 2, S-T-O-R-M, the number 2, down in your comment of this video, and then come back on July 2nd. That's when I'll post the winner. Good luck. We just came across another snapping turtle. We're about a quarter mile from where we saw one yesterday, so I don't know if this is the same one. The one yesterday didn't have all of that like algae and stuff. This one looks like it just came up out of the water. So there's a pond right here. There's a creek here, but it's got a concrete wall. You know, it's in a canal. So there's no way it came out of that creek. So it must have come up out of this pond over here. Lefty doesn't know it's there, so I'm taking this opportunity to shoot some video. I think it might be laying eggs because it's got its back end kind of all dug down in the ground. Oh, look, we were just walking past a baseball field here at the park, and there's another snapping turtle, and we're on the other side of the fence. So I've heard that this is egg laying time. Okay, hey. Okay. So this is the third one we've seen over here at the park, just within the last like 7 days. All right, just got out of the barber shop. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Everybody take care, be safe. We'll see y'all again really soon. You ready to go to the park? Okay. Goodness. Okay. All right, we'll go.